Goblin Slayer Year 1, I really did enjoy. Goblin Slayer, you know how I feel about it. Didn't really like it that much. Felt like the characters were kind of one note. Didn't really offer much. They were named after what they fucking did, and I thought that was pretty stupid. But then I read Goblin Slayer Year 1. I got to know a little bit more about the characters. I felt more invested, and I really got excited, and I really enjoyed it. Cut to now, Cody felt a little left out, all right? The last few clips, we talked about things that he hadn't seen before. And, you know, to be fair, I asked my friend Cody what he would like to talk about, and he says the Goblin Slayer trailer. So, Cody, take it away, Cody.
Take it.
A lot of anime movies are not continuity, right? A lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
Or
they'll say it is, but then like at the end they're just like, and no one will remember that this happened.
And it is not canon.
Always, dude.
The director will come like after the credits and be like, this isn't canon.
I mean, sometimes it's fun to have like that, you know, difference between like, oh, that was fun for the anime and this was just fun for us to see the characters again. But it is going to be canon, correct?
It is part of the story, right?
Yeah, it's
volume
4
cool
of the novels.
There is a character in the Goblin Slayer trailer that looks like a movie non-canon character. And it's the character with like the blonde eyelashes or blonde eyebrows or whatever.
She's blonde.
Blonde girl.
She has blonde eyelashes, blonde eyebrows, and also blonde hair.
Just call them blonde.
I'm sorry.
You opened with her eyelashes.
You don't compliment a girl by her eyelashes ever? You're like,
No.
I'm like, hey, Cody, 6 o'clock, look at them eyelashes.
Look at them. You call it the colors too?
No, I call out personalities. Like, check out her sense of humor.
You fucking
Sure.
liar. But I thought I thought she looked like a movie character that wasn't canon, but this movie's canon, and you've read that. You've read the entire series, right?
The novels. Yeah, it's happening in the manga right now is just covering this movie plotline.
But this is volume 4, so I'm confused about this whole timeline thing. So
okay, because it's volume 4 of the novels, but I think it would be like volume 7 of the manga or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I get that.
So like after the season 2 storylines, there's like another 2 seasons that could be done before this movie would take place.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's like it's a sequel to the story that hasn't happened yet. So like then if the anime comes out with their more seasons, that would be like the interquel if you see the movie first. It's I think it's because the story of that volume is it's a pretty straightforward story.
And it's maybe concise enough to fit into an hour and some change, hour and a half movie.
And there's a couple of characters that are introduced, and they're like, all right, well, I do live in like another part of the kingdom, so.
So you know the blonde eyelash girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a solid character.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw her cut her hair in the middle of the trailer, and I was like, that is a sign of her not doing something she was...
Yeah, 3 guesses as to what happened.
She went through a breakup, is what happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
With Goblin Slayer?
What? Oh, no.
Oh, I don't care then.
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
No, but Goblin Slayer does see he like brings her because he sees a kindred spirit in her, which happens in the story more and more because as he starts developing, he'll meet people that like were like him when he started, and he'll like in his own like way he'll try to like mentor them like he'll try to like guide people to not go down the path he's on because he recognizes that he's wrong, and it is really
he's grown so much.
Yeah, he sounds like he actually has a personality.
If you guys want super spoilers to the anime chapters that would happen in like 6 years, he meets a wizard boy who's very like, I'm gonna kill goblins. He's a redheaded wizard, and he's goblins killed my sister. Who she was a very like prestigious mage after graduation. She went on one adventure and she got killed by goblins, and I'm gonna find that nest and I'm gonna kill them all. So you can guess who her sister was.
Who?
Just it's relevant to when the Goblin Slayer finds out, and it's the first time he ever yells. Where like he talks about how like I lost my sister, I lost this.
He yells,
and Goblin Slayer, is that so? And he like stumbles out, and he like he's like mad and he like yells at like
Oh my god.
he like vents about how like nothing I'm doing is changing anything. People are still suffering. The world is still the same. I thought like doing this would make the world better. Give the series 6 years and it'll get into like the actual.
I'm still trying to figure out if I like it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the movie it looked pretty cool.
That girl, she the way she kills one of the goblins is like the other character's like, okay, that's enough, and Goblin Slayer's just like sort of nodding like, no, she needs to do this.
Yes,
We're like absolutely like it. They like
wrecks him.
like it like close like panel after panel of like the goblin's face getting bashed in, and like her just screaming and like beating its face in, and then like everyone's like, I don't know if we should be doing this,
Dude. I don't know. So
this movie's plotline is the start of where goblin stuff starts getting out of like it. Like there's a noticeable like evolution of what goblins are doing. And it starts necessitating like a bigger like call to like people start taking everything more seriously as far as what goblins are doing.
So was that a goblin king?
I mean, it's kind of a spoiler. I can tell you guys what the plot like what that is, because it's sort of a big deal what that goblin was, because I don't know if you saw in the trailer, it's like a man-sized like proportion. It looks like a man with just a goblin like general face.
Yeah.
It's decked out in like actual armor, and it stole a sword from the girl. That's her investment. But that sword is like a magical sword, and then there's, I mean, anything beyond that it would be spoilers.
Okay.
okay.
But it's a new type of goblin that it kind of makes everyone concerned about where this world is going now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I saw Goblin Slayer running away.
Oh, in the trailer.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily run away from just these regular little goblins here, okay? So that's why I was like, oh shit, it's getting real out here.
He's not Goblin Runner. He's Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
Because
because if he was, that would be his name, because they name people after just things that they do.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's one of my least favorite things about the entire
Goblin Daddy.
Goblin
Ooh,
Daddy.
I'm down for that. No, you're right.
Goblin Slayer Daddy's better.
Goblin Daddy.
No, Daddy Slayer.
Daddy Slayer.
Daddy Slayer.
That's what they call Josh.
The Daddy Slayer?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Daddy
I like
Kisser.
That.
Yeah.
Is that
Daddy Kisser.
Wow.
Like as the stories go on and stuff, you like, because Goblin Slayer, you see how he fights goblins, but then you start seeing the way he fights other people is how goblins fight. So like he's very like hit and run.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
cheap hits. There's a fun part in whatever the next season of Goblin Slayer is. You see him like in a 1v1 with another like player, and you see like he does cheat. And it's interesting.
Damn.
Well, goblins don't fight fair. So
Yeah.
when you're fighting them all the time, you have to adapt. And then when you fight somebody else, and when goblins are literally all you know, and as a man such as him who has named himself after the thing he slays, what else do you expect from the slayer of goblins than to be a goblin amongst men?
Yeah.
Nothing less.
That was just off the dome.
And the character that he fights, he does like, man, this, like he was just like, as he's like overpowering him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he's like this guy, he never stood a chance. All he does is fight weak enemies, and then there's a thing that happens, and you're like, Goblin Slayer. Yeah, he's a lot craftier than you assume in fights.
I never assumed that he wasn't crafty, man. From what I've seen, that guy's fucking arts and crafty.
All
that guy.
day.
All day, man.
I wonder if we'll see any romantic development in this movie. That's what I would like to see.
With they didn't
with
show,
all of them.
They didn't show Cowgirl. Well,
they did show. Well, they did show her at the end. I don't know what scene. They're like in like a bathhouse somewhere. I don't think she's. Of course they are. That's the episode.
She like came just to go to the bathhouse.
Yeah, she's like, "Can I just bathe with you guys? Is that cool?" But I don't know. We'll see.
And hopefully we can start a petition to get these seasons rolling, because the story gets better in a way I think you would appreciate. But
I really did like a volume.
Megan will absolutely love when they go to High Elf Archer's home village.
I'm ready for that one.
To go to a wedding, and that's just the story.
Say no more.
The story
Maybe,
gets
yeah.
like super dark, and then first it's just they just go to a lovely wedding.
I love it.
I feel like
And,
Goblin
like,
Slayer has a huge.
Oh,
like,
I've seen that in Game of Thrones too. It didn't go too.
Oh, also
shit.
that's also after that it hits the darkest note the story's ever gotten.
Oh,
to.
okay, cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Wow.
In a way that like as I was like reading it, I was like genuinely disturbed by what was happening.
Cody was genuinely disturbed.
I
Like
was
Goblin Slayer.
I was like, wow, this is brutal and disgusting.
You know, if Cody's
Considering the
disturbed.
things that happened in page 5 of Goblin Slayer Year
Yeah.
1 and what happened in episode 1 of Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
For you to be and Cody, by the way, wasn't phased by any of that.
No, like I was like first time reading Goblin Slayer, I was like, whoa. You know, year 1 I was like, okay.
And then this, you were like,
and you're like,
When the down the road, I was like, I stopped, and I'm like, that is disgusting, and it like
wow,
it haunted me for a bit,
oh my god,
and where I was like, I needed a day before I could keep reading it. Like I was disgusted and
I'm
horrified by what happens in the story.
looking forward. I like he does not let anyone else roll the dice. That was on the beginning of the trailer and on the ending of the trailer, like the I don't know, like a quote.
yeah, I gotta be honest. The
You didn't
Goblin
like
Slayer
that?
trailer, those graphics at the beginning and end of the
Yeah.
trailer,
Cheesy?
and to be honest, the whole trailer looked like I thought it was an ad for a mobile video game.
Which
yeah, the music and like
Yeah,
the
and
music they
ad,
use
the
for Goblin
fucking-
Slayer is bizarre.
it's like find your way, find your way.
Why is it?
yeah,
not,
it should be like whoa, kill
Yeah.
Goblin, like
Yeah.
metal
It's
music.
like this like little
playing and,
girl
like-
voice.
yeah, it was
it's
very weird.
I want you to find your potential.
It's like the end credits of like a Moe.
Yeah.
It's just not fitting at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel like a mobile app.
Like during
That's
the-
exactly
yeah.
right on the nose.
Yeah, the editors and the people I think someone just knows the person who sings those songs, and they're like,
I only work on Goblin Slayer. This is all I know. I can help you.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm pretty sure that was the opening for the first season of Goblin Slayer. It's the same singer.
it's probably the same singer.
Yeah, it sounds identical.
Yeah, and no one is willing to tell her that like that does not fit the vibe of Goblin Slayer
I
at
guess
all.
they love it. I don't know.
I think
yeah, I
that-
really do think they
Maybe
love
it's the
it.
childlike innocence.
Yeah, they're like, oh wow, it's gonna like contrast with the violence and the beauty of the
Yeah.
voice. You know.
Yeah, well, it's like the lyrics do fit the theme of Goblin Slayer.
Find your way.
Is it Find Your Way?
Slay the goblins. No, it's
that'd
not.
be hilarious. It was
Yes,
like
that's the
if it
find
was-
your way, slay the goblin.
if it was a beautiful voice, but the words were just crazy, like goblins. Sometimes they rape, sometimes they murder. You know, but it was like
not in that order.
order. Cover yourself, hide in the shadows, but they'll find you there and take your clothes off.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, "That's not actually that bad." But
Yeah.
then you lost me. at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's okay. You go. Give us a verse.
I can't sing. The song in the anime, like the lyrics are about like a child losing his like innocent ideals of becoming a hero, and it's like that'd be cool if it was sung more of like more brutal
Think
instead
about
of
screamo.
yeah.
Have they ever heard
The
of
difference,
Screamo?
the
Ever
difference
heard
of
of it?
screamo lyrics and then like cheesy anime like ending song lyrics is a very thin line.
And honestly, it just sounds it's English. Like the song is English too. So maybe if it was in like Japanese, I would be like, okay, that's just like whatever. But it's in English, so it sounds like just a little weird. She's like, I can't. I can't even. I don't even know what she says. I
The
don't.
theme song will always be "Find Your Way, Slay
Yeah,
Goblins."
find your way.
Slay goblins. Find your way. Slay goblins.
You know what?
It sounds right.
This is like if you were like hired as a bard and they're like, you just have to constantly improvise like what your team is doing, and you're like, that's what your job is to just sing.
I'm
Like,
my hands are getting tired. Hurry up and slay hurry up and find your way.
and when you slay them,
There he goes.
Okay.
I was trying to do Dio.
Well,
Oh.
I got excited. I knew you just didn't do it. But yeah, Goblin Slayer, the movie.